the Blue Eyes White Dragon, one of Yu-Gi-Oh's most iconic monsters of all time. Throughout its history, it has had multiple arts that have been printed over the years, including the Starter Deck Kaiba art, the LOB, the Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon art, the V-Jump promo art, which ultimately became a part of the sad Duelist Pack Battle City, the one from the Legendary Collection 1, and one of my personal favorites, the Dark Side of Dimensions. Plus, Konami has released other arts that have never been released to the public except on Duel Links. When you fuse 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons together, you get the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Now, the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon has had 3 iterations so far, and they all include the following. Blue Eyes Alternative Ultimate Dragon from the 2019 tins, which I believe it has gone up in price, actually, which I'm going to check right now. So give me 1 second as I go on to... As I go to TCG Player, yeah, actually, it's gone up in price a little bit. It's gone up in price just a little bit, especially for a near mint copy. They usually go for somewhere between like 10 to 15 bucks. So, not too bad. Not too bad. There's also the Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon from the Dark Side of Dimensions, and of course, you gotta go with the classic Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. This is actually the Jump promo one that I picked up from King Fandom several months back, and unfortunately, it is a bit damaged. As you guys could, under the right light, it is hella damaged. Did I care? No. I did not really give a fuck because it's the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and, well, definitely is... and it definitely has its own value, to say the very least. In fact, the Jump promo version... I believe damaged goes for around like a couple dollars, which is kind of crazy. If it was near mint, it would probably go for like at least like $10, which is awesome. Excuse me. And now, after all these years, the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon is getting a brand new retrain that could very may well make the Blue Eyes White Dragon decks one of the most meta defining decks in the format, and it will be released in the original artwork collection set. And it is known as Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, the God-Surpassing Servant, which is getting an overframe. And just like the other 3 Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon forms, this one, 12-star Light Dragon Fusion, 4,500 attack, 3,800 defense, and it requires 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons. Excuse me. So the third effect is a once per turn. The first effect reads that this card cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, it's unaffected by your opponent's activated card effects during during their turn. Second effect reads that this card can make a second and third attack during each battle phase. Third effect reads, once per chain, during the battle phase, as a quick effect, you can target one opponent's monster, special summon to this turn, or a face-down card they control, and destroy it. You can literally treat that card, treat this Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon as a fucking MST. And think about this, right? Think about this. With Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, its effects reads as follows. At the end of the damage step, if this fusion summon card attacked, and this is the only face-up card you control, you can send one Blue Eyes fusion monster from your extract to the grave, and this card can attack again in a row. You can only use this effect once per turn. When a card or effect is activated that targets a Blue Eyes monster you control as a quick effect, you can banish this card from your grave, negate the activation, and destroy that card. So not only can you attack again with Neo Blue Eyes, but you can also treat this card in the grave as a solemn judgment. Now, as far as the Blue Eyes alternative Ultimate Dragon, its effects read as follows. Your opponent cannot target or destroy this card with card effects. Once per turn, you can target a card your opponent controls, destroy it. If this card was fusion summoned using a monster whose original name is Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon as material, you can target up to 3 cards your opponent controls instead. This card cannot attack the turn this effect is activated. So with Blue Eyes Alternative Ultimate Dragon, you get to pop multiple cards in the same turn. With this version of Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, excuse me, not only can it not be destroyed by card effects, it's also unaffected by card effects during your opponent's turn. It can attack 3 times in the same battle phase every single turn, and you get to pop a card on your opponent's field, which is absolutely broken. This could ultimately, no pun intended, but this card can ultimately make Blue Eyes decks even more powerful than ever before, because if you're playing a Blue Eyes deck and you're going first, typically you want your turn 1 board to be Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon plus Cosmic Blazar Dragon plus excuse me, plus the oh my god, what is it? Stardust Sea for Divine Dragon plus any of the 3 plus any Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon monster, which typically you want to go for Neo Blue Eyes because of the fact that if it gets sent to the grave, you can use it as a solemn judgment. But if you want to try and maximize how many cards you get to pop in the same turn, you want to go for obviously the Blue Eyes Alternative Ultimate Dragon, which is crazy. So it would be those dragons plus Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon with at least 3, maybe 4 back row set with 4 hand traps in hand. That right there is about at least I want to say 8 to 12 negates instantly, which is excuse me, which is unbelievable. Unbelievable. That right there would be the ideal turn 1 board. But if you're playing Blue Eyes on Master Duel like I do from time to time, typically the amount of negates that you'll have on board turn 1 will be at least 2, 3, will be at least like 4 to at least 6 negates at the most, depending on what your opponent has in their opening hand. So it's definitely something. It's definitely something. But I can honestly say that we could be seeing Blue Eyes White Dragon become a meta deck once again, but even more stronger than ever before with the new Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. But with that being said, that'll do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more card discussions in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, be sure to follow me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.